Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, your number one source for income-oriented investing. I got a very special guest with me today, Miss Stephanie Wolf, the Executive VP of Marketing at the now renamed Global X Investments Canada. Stephanie, thanks so much for taking the time to join me and talking about the rebrand. How are you doing today, first of all?
I am so good, and thank you so much, Adrian, for having me on today. Very excited to dig into our questions.
Yeah, same here. I've been getting a lot of, Horizons and now Global X is pretty big in the ETF space in Canada, and I've been getting a lot of questions from the community. What does this mean for the existing ETFs? So I'm happy I could provide my audience the source information, right? The correct information at source from the exact person we need to speak with. So first of all, Stefan, if you don't mind,
Sure.
because I do this with all my new guests. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your extensive history in the industry, your background, if you don't mind?
Sure, no problem. Well, like I said, I am very excited to be here. I have a very long and tenured experience within the Canadian financial industry. Previous to this role that I'm here at, and very excited to be at Global X, I was head of marketing at Blackrock Canada. I also did take an opportunity. I have run my own business in the past, and understanding how to empower Canadians to really truly invest to build their wealth. And also worked briefly at BMO as a strategic advisor for their women's segment. And all of that has led me to this fantastic opportunity here to rebrand Horizons ETFs to Global X.
Perfect. So yeah, you're a veteran of the game, obviously. So let's talk about the rebrand right away. Let's just get into it. So first of all, why? Why did Horizons decide to rebrand to Global X Investment Canada? Like, I believe Global X Investment Canada is the official name, but can you tell us why you guys decided to do that?
Many reasons. What I will say is that ultimately it's an opportunity for us to showcase how we can better serve Canadians. So it started about a year ago when our new CEO Rohit Mehta took a seat, and he's traveled across Canada. And what he really discovered was that many investors and advisors understood the long-standing history and local expertise of the Horizons brand, but they weren't actually familiar that we were part of a much larger global family, the Murray Asset family. And so we began to develop a plan on how we could best highlight that. And one of the key things that we were focused on doing was being able to also communicate that we offer innovative products. We have the expertise from a very big global family that we can bring forward, an ecosystem that will ultimately better serve Canadian investors and give them more choice. So for us, it was wanting to do it as well from a position of strength. So Horizons long-standing history here in Canada, one of Canada's largest ETF providers. And in 2023, we had our biggest year yet, and we crossed 30 billion in assets under management. And it was, honestly, a great opportunity for us to showcase this transition to Global X. So Global X ETFs is internationally known. They are part of the Murray Asset family. And what's interesting is that we also discovered that Canadian investors hold about 1 billion in U.S. Global X ETFs alone already. So many Canadians were already familiar with the brand itself. So for us, we really see it as uh, this opportunity to offer investors more choice in Canada, builds greater trust with Canadians, and just enables us to still be Canadian at heart with our local expertise, but also have that global reach. So entering the Global X family was very important to us, and just further enhances that messaging to showcase to Canadians we can do this for them.
Okay, perfect. So in case my audience doesn't know Murray Asset Management, that's the parent company. Then you have Global X, which is very well known in the US as a US ETF provider, QYLD, et cetera, et cetera. So is the new Global X, the rebrand from Horizons Global X Investment Canada, is it still going to be a separate company from Global X US? Are we going to have like Canadian ETF provider and then separately Global X on the US side? Is it going to be separate?
Yeah, we will remain separate. So Global X Investments Canada, we remain
Okay.
Canadian led, Canadian operated investment fund manager right here, exclusively focused on providing Canadian listed investment solutions. So that's our number one priority. That said, though, we do work alongside our global partners, in particular our U.S. company, which are neighbors to the south there, known as Global X ETFs. So what I will say is that, like I said, longstanding history. Horizons, began in 2005. Shortly thereafter, was acquired by Murray Asset in 2011, and it was the U.S. business started in 2008 and was acquired by Murray in 2018. So the Global X brand goes beyond North America. It's in Europe, it's in Asia, it's in Australia, and Hong Kong, South America. So it really is, our name really is representative of the brand reality as well. So we're very excited to really bring that global reach and expertise to the Canadian,
Okay.
to Canadian investors and Canadian company.
Yeah, it's starting to make sense to me now because I did notice I had no idea, but Global X is global. I mean, you got European listed ETFs as well, so I guess it makes sense now. You're kind of merging it all under the Global X, brand name, if you will. But I appreciate the fact that that the Canada was going to focus on Canadian products, the U.S. on U.S. listed funds, et cetera, et cetera. So now the main questions pretty much my community has, when I've been in the corporate world for a long time, my wife and I, so I know that when there's mergers or renames, there's typically advantages. Would you say there's any advantages to rebranding to Global X? Or, for example, is there going to be new synergies between the Canadian ETF provider and the other ones, the European and the US ones? Are there any advantages you see this rebrand will have for, let's say, current investors?
Yeah, I think there's going to be significant advantages. That's the plan anyway. Looking at the research, the marketing, the global opportunities. I would say
Hmm.
client services, tech, all of that truly is that global reach. That's what we can really tap into to bring forward. It's a better mechanism, honestly, for Canadians to just get exposure to equities in other jurisdictions. So I really think that the when I speak to the research part, we have analysts sitting in across the world. They're in South Korea, Australia, Europe, US, who can really bring a variety of coverages to the Canadian investor. And so we can tap into that knowledge. And what we do here is we really bring that local expertise to make it the best for our Canadian clients and what that service offering is for them. So that's truly the intention. It is a global company, but really with that local expertise.
Okay, sounds good. And I've noticed already, a few people who already own, including myself, Horizons ETFs, that the names have already changed in our broker on Yahoo Finance, whatever. So the rebranding for investors who have already existing Horizons ETFs, what does it mean for them? Is it just simply a name change? Or I'm assuming I believe the objectives of the ETFs stay the same, the strategy of the ETFs stay the same. Any difference for existing investors besides the name change?
I don't, outside of everything that's existed. So if you currently own Horizons ETFs,
Yeah, that's what I
same
meant.
thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's if people currently own Horizons ETFs, really what they'll just see is the name change. The mandates, the underlying
Okay.
investment, everything, all the strategies stay the same. This moving forward, what I would say is that it gives us an opportunity to look at, bringing out those new, for example, today, the day of this recording, we have our thematics and equity essentials launches. So thematics is a newer area for us that is part of that tapping into that global reach with the, international expertise. Thematics is quite big, especially with our U.S. partners, and so that's something that we'll be offering here moving
Yeah,
forward.
Global X on the US side does have a lot of thematic ETFs, and it is May 15th. You guys have launched already a few new ones. Cover those in future videos. I'm very excited about those, especially for growth investors who like that stuff. And you talked about equity essentials. I love those as well, but we'll stick to the rebranding here. So just a few more questions, Stephanie, before I let you go here.
Yeah.
Canadian investors right now, they have a lot of choices, right? There's obviously the Blackrock and Vanguard, which are huge. BMOs, which you've been a part of, they have a huge list of Canadian-based ETFs, whether it's thematic or index-based. How will Global X Canada now really be different from these behemoths that have been in the game for a long time, that have lots and lots of AUM, very low management fees because of that? How will you guys compete? Do you see
Well,
any advantages you might have?
this is what gets me excited, Adrian. This is actually my favorite question to answer because it's truly the best of both worlds, and because I have been in both sides, I can say this with true conviction: is that Global X really is here to offer the best. We've got the $800 billion in assets under management with Murray that's backing us, which, by the way, I will say is bigger than BMO. I said that. Coupled with that local expertise that we truly have here in the Canadian led and operated team. So locally, we are also, as I mentioned before, one of Canada's largest and longest established ETF companies. So we're really bringing that best of what you're seeing from some of those larger US-based firms and that Canadian-led, and we're mashing it together. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing as it comes together. So, we're offering these innovative products that are just best in class, and it really gives Canadian investors that opportunity to access them faster. I think our size and scale enables us to be quite nimble, and we can move quicker than I think some of the larger institutional companies can. And so that gives us an advantage as well, and ultimately leads to better investment choice and opportunities for Canadians too.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned innovation, and I definitely have to agree with you there because you guys do have what I feel. This is just my personal opinion. Some of my favorite products are the leveraged ones, and you guys have leverage income oriented products, leverage growth type of products, which, as far as I know, no one else has. So it is very innovative. I'm very excited to cover these. And you guys already announced a bunch of them, right? It's May 15th. Some have already come out. Some are coming out in the next couple of weeks. So and I'm going to cover them as well. But what can we expect from Global X Canada going forward? More products, more innovative products. What is, I would say, your mission going forward to help Canadian retail investors?
Well, a couple of things, but I would say that the one that stands out the most to me and what we're trying to do is really empower Canadian investors to explore the future of investing. And that's what we try to emulate as we think about all of the upcoming launches, right? We want to, as you mentioned, we have our covered call, we have enhanced ETFs, and Canadian investors and increasingly global investors as well. They're really looking for funds to deliver more. They want more income. They want better returns. And so it's in our tagline, innovation meets investing. And that's where we really want to be. We want to be there to help Canadians build a better investing future. So that's really the underlying ethos of what we stand for. And we're very excited to bring this to Canadians through Global X. So stay tuned for more because there's a lot coming.
I'm excited. I always love your new launches. I'm always there. My community is as well. So, Stephanie, that's it for the questions. You've taken the time. I really appreciate it. Thanks for answering everything and hope to see you again.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Adrienne. Thank you.